Welcome to this channel. The channel is for education and culture based on historical and scientific evidence. So, these few days, many of our Wing Chuners friends have chatted with me, asking me on the training of Xiu Lim Tao. And it turns out that even though I have shared many YouTube for these past 2 weeks on details of Wing Chun and Xiu Lim Tao, none of these friends got it. Even the very basic, they don't get it. So there's one thing happened this past few days. Another thing happened this morning is one of a really well-known professor in the university in Taiwan, who also is an expert in the Chinese healing art, passed away. She had the age of 60, so she passed away. She's a very good person. Now, so this professor was diagnosed with cancer when at her age 42, which is 18 years ago. And at that time, the doctor told her that she had only about 6 months to live. And of course, because he is really a practitioner of the Chinese healing arts, she be able to live until now, which is 18 years later. Her father is a Tai Chi Chuan grandmaster. Her father's teacher is a top Tai Chi Chuan grandmaster. So, of course, she is a professor in Chinese culture in the university. She learned all these things. She be able to help herself, at least extend her life for 18 years. And of course, she went through the Western medicines in combinations with her Chinese healing practice. So with this, Wing Chun friends have issue in the learning of Xiu Lim Tao, and this Chinese professor passed away. I make this YouTube to share with you all. Seriously, the entire thing is based on refining the body, refining the breathing, refining the mind. And in refining the mind, one need to call oneself back, as what I share already in the past few YouTubes. Refining the breathing, it is tougher because you need to get into the subtle breathing and so forth. And then refining the body, where you need to know how to handle your body, your 7 bowls and so forth. Well, it doesn't matter it is the Xiu Lim Tao practice or the healing practice like this professor who passed away. It is all based on the refining the body, refining the breathing, and refining the mind. How do we do it in Xiu Lim Tao? Well, the 1850s writing, the first sentence saying that calling your conscious back in the equal shoulder stand or E.G. Kam Yong Ma. And I have already made a YouTube few days ago to explain to you how to do the E.G. Kam Yong Ma and how to calling yourself back in the YouTube. That is the very basic of our Wing Chun. So that is the first sentence of the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao classic, is to build the foundations of refining the body, refining the breathing, and refining the mind. That's why in the YouTube, I share that you can, using your E.G. Kam Yong Ma, and then calling yourself back, and then you can stand there like Zhan Zhuang to let your breathing run naturally. So all this, as what I share in the YouTube, is a natural pace, refining the body, the breathing, and the mind. It's a natural place. Is you don't use effort or deliberately do anything. You let things surface. So as in the Tao Te Ching, it said, Tao mimic natural. In the 1850s Xiu Lim Tao writing, another writing, it said that spontaneously allow the breathing, the qi to flow naturally. That's what it is. Now, you want to have healing art, you want to develop your martial arts. Remember I say that Wing Chun is for fitness, for your health, and then for the self-defense. And first, one ought to develop this fitness. And so both this about self-defense and developing fitness, all of this have to base on the first writing of the Xiu Lim Tao 1850, which I share in the YouTube. That is the teaching. Okay, now, so there's a problem here. A problem that in today's world, people do not have a landscape on what is going on. How is that being trained? And thus, like today's in the Xiu Lim Tao practice, there's no landscape to tell you that, this in the Xiu Lim Tao, there's a 6 core element, but the first thing you need to develop your body, your mind, your breathing and your mind. You want to refine that, okay? And then only that you come with your chi flow, your force flow, your momentum, and then you get into fighting, which is the 6 core element. People don't have this landscape in their mind. They don't know what it is. So they will say, this teacher is right, that grandmaster is right, this is the teaching from this Wing Chun, king of Wing Chun, or whatever title, or grandmaster. And then they start to adding, Bruce Lee is for Wing Chun. Bruce Lee do Xiu Lim Tao too. See, Bruce Lee adding or using the Western science. And then somebody who practiced Tai Chi will say about this Tai Chi and everything. Chi, internal power. Now, the issue is, if you don't see that it is a self-defense, the entire art is about the fitness and self-defense, and we did it have the 6 core element, and then it start with refining the body, the breathing, and the mind, and you have to be proficient with that. Then what are we going to train? You cannot train anything because you don't have the landscape, you don't know the details, and it just piece by piece here, like try to merge in no connection pieces, like, oh, this Xiu Lim Tao according to this lineage is from this grandmaster and he must be right. And then Bruce Lee is doing Xiu Lim Tao too, and he's using the Western science. And then there's qi inside there, there's mindfulness, there is the mind power, all kinds of stuff. You see all this scattering around, it doesn't piece up to tell you what it is. So I share with you just now, again, I just repeat again. Wing Chun, the Xiu Lim Tao design is for the primary, the most important base is for your health and your fitness. Well, you're going to use it for daily, okay? And support the self-defense part, which is the momentum play. And the really, really fundamental is to refine your body, your breathing, and your mind. So that is the first sentence of the 1850 Xiu Lim Tao writing, calling yourself back in the equal shoulder stand or Yi Ji Kam Yong Ma. That's what is the teaching is about. Now, once you know this, you need to keep training, drilling. It's not sitting down there, I believe this, I believe that, this grandmaster, that grandmaster. What is the point for that? What is the point for that? So the real Kung Fu, disregard of Chinese or Japanese. Now I share with you one sentence, one teaching of Master Oyama. Now, since I'm a Kyokushin, Master Oyama's teaching to the young beginner students say, after 1,000 days of training, one become a beginner. Or one become a beginner after 1,000 days of serious training. That is the way I was trained in Kyokushin. That is the same way I was trained in Wing Chun and other arts. I studied the 6 healing sound. I spent thousands of hours. The Wing Chun Xiu Lim Tao, 1850, I spent thousands of hours. Now, it doesn't mean that I'm an expert or grandmaster. No. Why? Because Master Oyama is telling the truth. One become a beginner after 1,000 days of training. And by the way, this one become a beginner after 1,000 days of training is a teaching of the Buddha's teaching. In the Avatamsaka Sutta, that is what it is. You want to study the Buddha Dharma or Buddha's teaching, that's how it is. So like the other day in my YouTube, I said on this Yi Ji Kam Yong Ma YouTube, I said once you know this, you know the attainment you need to get to, you have the practice, and then the verification, the APV. Then you do 200 hours. And then after 200 hours, you will know. So, like me, I have to do like Master Oyama taught. After 1,000 days of training, one become a beginner. one become a beginner after 1,000 days of training. So you not be able to understand what I'm talking about because I went through that 1,000 days of training and become a beginner, but you guys never go through that. None today in this world who practice Xiu Lim Tao ever go through that. This is not to boast myself and not being not humble, but to tell you seriously. So, what can you expect? So it is like you go to a gold mine. You know, your father owned a gold mine. You went into the gold mine, but you don't know there's the gold mine. You don't know what is gold. So this morning when I heard about this professor passing, many people say, well, isn't it that she is the famous guy in Chinese healing and everything? Somebody's questioned her in the web. And I just told them, humans have different lifespan. And she did really well already for being able to extend her life for 18 years. Imagine if he doesn't have that art. If she doesn't do that practice like I share with you, what Mas Oyama taught. See, I'm nobody. But you need to listen, you need to follow like Mas Oyama and all the Buddha's teaching. One become a beginner after 1,000 days. Today, you look at people who practice Xiu Lim Tao, who have done 1,000 days of serious practice into every details. Just ask that. People talk about fighting and all this. Well, I'm doing Wing Chun. My Wing Chun is better than your Wing Chun. I do research on Wing Chun. I debunk you. Serious? Do you know even how to call yourself back in the E.G. Kam Yong Ma? Which is the practice of the very basic of refining your body, your breathing, and your mind. It's very easy to spot people for that. You really go through that. One become a beginner after 1,000 days of training to practice that thing I share with you. You just look at the person whoever act like the grandmaster or authority. You look at their body, you know that they never ever train that way. They don't have the skill. You know, sometimes people mistake things because human body is really different. Some born more healthy, some born more longer life. And some were born more aggressive and have bigger muscle and bigger frame. You look at in Wing Chun, people are actually not because of they know Wing Chun, but because of their body is bigger, they are stronger and so forth, so they can fight. But imagine if you get into the situation like the professor who passed away in Taiwan, how many days they can last once they was announced in that situations. When you are young, sure, you know, if you are young, you can say, well, you know, I get healed from this disease, that disease. But when you are 60, after 50s, seriously, what can you do? So people is just acting big. And yet, the art of Wing Chun, the very basic of Xiu Lim Tao, nobody really pay attention to do it properly and to really develop it. And the reason is, if people don't tell you, that the ancient is saying that you refine your body, refine your breathing, and refine your mind. So the entire Xiu Lim Tao sets, when you do it, if your mind have the goal or the attainment is for to continue refine your body, your breathing, and your mind, it can never be wrong. So you say, well, Henry, are you serious? Yes. Because if you keep refine your body, keep refine your breathing and your mind, you're going to go like peeling onion, layers and layers, and you can say, how come I do that yesterday? Something is not natural. Something is not right. You refine it again, and you say, oh, I know. Why do I do that? So the entire thing, the very basic, is just you put in your mind, okay, this is Xiu Lim Tao. Stop to get into this grandmaster is right, that grandmaster is right, because the entire thing is you. Got nothing to do with anybody. So you got the Xiu Lim Tao and you're just thinking, okay. Like the other day I shared with you the methods of the Yi Kam Yong Ma and calling yourself back and the Zhan Zhuang and those things. You say, okay, I just practice this one thing. And the goal and the way how to do it is just keeping refine my body, keeping improve the body, handling, keeping improve the breathing, and keeping improve the mind. You do it for 1,000 days, like Master Oyama say, then you know, oh, this is really a beginner. I now become a beginner. But if you have never go through that, it's just, you don't know. You don't know what people is talking about. Okay, so this has got nothing to do with, can you fight under pressure? Why don't you fight me, call you out, you know, who's the best fighter? This is called Wing Chun. Wing Chun means that, can you please show me, do you know even the very basic? Instead of getting to those things about fighting, I'm better than you, all those kind of things, which is violating all the Shaolin rules, violating the general Qi Ji Guang rules. Those are not Chinese. Those are not Chinese martial arts. Those are just something which is like a thug fighting or bullying in the village or so forth. Those are not the teaching of Wing Chun. You're keeping preaching that thing. At the end, you don't even know the very basic, like the Xiu Lim Tao. We don't even talk about Xiu Lim Tao, just the simple Yi Kam Yong Ma. So this is the thing. If you miss this, one become a beginner after 10,000 days of training. Training on what? Training on refine your body, your breathing, and your mind. And continue doing it. If you're missing this, you're completely missing the point. You don't know Wing Chun. That's what it is. And you have no way to help your body to recover, to strengthen your body. Sure, people with a born strong or this and that, a better DNA, you can say whatever you want. But when you're hit by sickness or anything, how are you going to deal with it? It's just talking big. So like today, this professor, even she know it, those things, her body have limitations. But well, at least, you know, she extend her life for 18 years. That I salute. How many people can do that? How many people get into like their ovary cancer or something like that? Where Western doctors say, hey, you know, you're only 6 months and you can do that. and be able to have the process, the details. And we in this human world, we go through this. This is suffering. So Wing Chun is not what in the movie, if thinking in terms of the movie, like the Bai Ga Zai movie, like the Hong Gam Bo, this Yun Biu movie, and then you have this Bruce Lee picture, and then you have this Tai Chi, and then you call that the Xiu Lim Tao. There's the Wing Chun. No, it's not. That's not what the Chinese say. Chinese have, as well I share with you. It has tell that this Buddhist art is about keep yourself healthy and then for self-defense. And I don't want to repeat what I share with you. That's what it is. You have to do the big picture. And the first step, you always have to spend thousands of days into refining your body, refining your breathing, refining your mind. The more you refine, the deeper you go, the more you can see things expand out, the details. That's why it's called Xiu Lim Tao, the essence of detailed training. If you don't keeping refine, how the hell are you going to see anything which is in details? So this is what I like to share with you, okay? There is no magic. The entire thing, as soon as you put in your mind that this practice is about, I have to focus mindful on refine my body, refine my breathing, and refine my mind, you are on the right track. And you keeping doing it. After 1,000 days, you look back, you say, oh, I learned this much, yeah? And then when the body don't feel comfortable, you say, oh, it's this. Now I need to take precautions. I need to go see doctor. It's not boasting like, I have Qigong, I can heal you. You look at the body and you can see right away whether you get or not. Sometimes people are just lucky. Okay? They heal from a disease or anything, they're plain lucky. When you're hit by the real one, see how much you can handle. Okay? And if you don't know this, you look at the tragedy of Bruce Lee. Okay, you can make any claim from Bruce Lee, but in terms of the Chinese culture, you know he don't have it. Okay? And with all the internal, all this thing, you know they are selling snake oil or emperor's new clothes. Now, I'm saying this, of course, is going to piss off many people, a lot of people, mega people. So, do you think I'm idiot to say things this way? Where I don't make money and everything? I tell you why I tell you this. This is an AI world, artificial intelligence era. We human better know how to handle our body. Like this professor who passed away. So she got the cancer, and then when she get refining her body, her breathing, and her mind, so this refining the body, the breathing, and the mind is using the ancient language. So he's doing his cultivations. When he get deep enough, right away he release on whatever he's thinking before, like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. He released the entire thing. And then he followed the ancient sage, Zhuangzi, to live a life so that, so he got 18 years. So that's how it is. Okay? It's not like this is the tools to achieve what I want it to be. No. You need to know this body. So, what has this got to do with AI world? Well, You look at this professor. 18 years ago, he found out that this is the way to live. So she dropped whatever she's not supposed to do. In this AI world, if you don't have this capability, it is really, really a disaster. Many people get sick, friends and everything surround me who get sick, who don't intend to drop what he is doing, even though they went through medicine, Chinese medicines, Western medicines, and Qigong, whatever. Once they get checked that their body is clear, they went back to do the same work. Within 3 months, that sickness come back. And I have even know one friend in Taiwan. After she was healed and all things is well, doing chemotherapy, everything is well. She was working in a lawyer office, and I said, can you afford that not going back to work? And she's well-to-do. Her husband is in high tech too. And she said, no, she can handle it. See what happened. 3 months, we lost her. Just 3 months after that, we lost her. So this is what we face in this era. Okay, and I share this with you is because your Xiu Lim Tao, you all have trained Xiu Lim Tao. What is so different? What is so difficult? You just tell yourself, oh, I practice Xiu Lim Tao. It's not to mimic anything. It doesn't matter I'm sloppy, I'm rigid, or whatever. My goal, my job is just what? Refine my body, refine my breathing, and refine my mind. Just set that goal, so simple. And then you see how you progress, how you'll be happier, because you know your body, your breathing, your mind better. Okay, so it's not about beating somebody, or I can beat you, I can slap you, whatever. It's about do it for yourself. Now, about this 18 years prolonged life, I want to tell you a history account. So, in the 3rd chapter of my book, Wing Chun Code, I was transferred the teaching of Mang Zhiyi 1,400 years ago to English, so that you can read on chapter 3, and you can know why is that a Xing Qi to Dan Tian, or focus in Dan Tian, those kind of things. So what happened is that his brother, this Mang Zhiyi's brother, is a general at that time, at that kingdom. And he met a Taoist master. And Taoist master looked at him, his color in the face and everything, said, you only have 3 months. You better go home right now to settle everything, because within 3 months you'll be gone. Go back to your wife, live with them, and so forth, so forth. And he get really scared, and he get really sad. He went to Mang Zhiyi. Mang Zhiyi said, you just follow what I show you here. So what Mang Zhiyi show his brother is what I try to share in the very basic in the chapter 3 of my book, the Wing Chun Code, which is about the Chinese in details explanations of samatha and vipassana, which is teaching of the Buddha. So the brother is practicing that, okay, practicing that. And after 2 years, he met this master again, the Taoist master. Master said, "How come you don't die?" And he said, "Well, because my teacher, my brother is actually the advisor of the emperor, Mang Ziyi, who taught me this." And he said, "Yeah, you really be able to change it, yeah?" He said. So he lived for another, how many years? 16 years. So he lived another more 16 years before he passed away. So this is how it is. You know, we all have our DNA and everything, every human being. We might not be able to change things a lot, but we can live to our limitations. Like this morning, I share with some friends. I said, this professor in Taiwan, even though she passed away at 60, but that's his limitations. But she didn't pass away when she was 42 because of that practice to change the entire thing. But then, if you look at this professor, she even changed her lifestyle. So you need to refine, to keeping refine your body, your mind, your body, your breathing, and your mind with a proper diet, with a proper sleeps or resting time, and of course with medicines. And then you need to change your lifestyle in order to do that, as what I have seen, okay, with all this thing. And if you read the third chapter of my book, or you can go in, if you know Chinese, or you know the English versions, the Chinese is called 小止观, the beginning contemplating and the beginning concentrating or calmness and contemplating teaching, okay, 小止观. So that's what it is. Life is not that difficult. Things are simple. If it's not right, you need to change it. You need to keep refining it. The issue is this. Even once you know this, not those magic chi nonsense BS, okay? You need to have this clear. Now, what is the ancient Chinese really teach? And then you have to follow as what Mas Oyama's teaching. One become a beginner after 1,000 years of training. Without that, it's guaranteed you go nowhere. That is the training of the ancient, okay, the ancient Buddhists. It's Chinese, it's Japanese, it's Korean, it doesn't matter. Human, that is the teaching. Okay, so this is what I like to share with you. I'm not whining. I'm trying to tell you to get the message across. People in my generation start to passing. I might go some days. Okay? And this information, this message about Wing Chun, if you care about Wing Chun, you care about yourself, you need to have this understanding. Some days, when you need it, you know, oh, this is a possibility there. And you always need to refine, okay, to how to say that, to refine your diet, or to improve your diet. You know what diet is good for you, your sleep and resting, your body, your breathing, and your mind, and then get medical help. And then change your lifestyle. Because if you say, well, I just practice 修炼陶, you know, I refine my body, my breathing, and my mind while doing 修炼陶. Say I do 1 hour. But then there is another 23 hours there. So you want to change your lifestyle so that your lifestyle is actually supporting or mutual supporting your practice and the way how you live. That's how it makes a difference. You can see that in the history of China, its records. If you don't change your lifestyle, you practice this Kung Fu, you'll never be able to change much. If you change your lifestyle, you do not know the refining, you will not be able to change much. But if you do both, that is where things change. So this is what I like to share with you. Please, 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 keeping thinking about what I'm sharing with you in this YouTube, okay? If you do not know how to do it, because you cannot call yourself back like many people, just write down every sentence. You go to the YouTube, you put on the caption, every sentence, every words I say, you write it down. After you write down the entire thing for your notes, then you will know what I'm talking about. Because many people today have already developed the bad habit that they cannot call themselves back. Their mind is scattering. So you cannot learn. So you need to have this. So this is actually calling yourself back, is refining your mind, isn't it? This practice, isn't it? You have this, you do it for, say, 200 hours, you can see the difference. And according to Master Oyama, he said that what? One become a beginner after 1,000 days of practice or training. So this is what I like to share with you. The truth, the words of truth, is not sugar coating. And it has got nothing to do with our ego or humble or whatever. Truth is truth. This is what it is. We need to learn that. That's why I tell you, my Sifu, late Venerable Xianhua, the Zen Patriarch, put in front of my face when I was age 23, some 40 years ago. At that time, already a university student. I'm a distinction student. Just tell me, if you never experience it, shut up. That's going to delude you. And he said that in the Buddha's teaching, if death comes right now, will you be able to handle it? If you cannot handle it, then you keep learning, keep refining. I mean, of course, I lost faith, right? In front of 200 people there, and half of them are monks and nuns. I have to swallow it. But he's right. So that's what I like to share with you today, okay? Life is short, and we all will go some days. But hopefully, you learn Wing Chun, you learn Xiu Lim Tao, your Xiu Lim Tao become a tool to help you to live a better life, help you to get more healthy. Don't think about this fighting stuff. More healthy and have a clear mind, be able to live with prosper. Okay, that's number one thing. That is the purpose of Wing Chun.